2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, 16, 18, 19, 19. Oh, we're live. Hello, everyone. This is Shahin Najdi in Redline Motivation. Today's podcast is going to be just me. I guess we're going to have this kind of podcasts more in future because I guess when I speak alone, I can speak more wisely and more effectively. Well, as a previous podcast that I did, I've got 100k views on TikTok, so that was a huge number for me, and I'm really proud of myself because the plan that I planned for myself, it worked, and I saw the results. It was a bit sufficient and interesting for me that I could speak and over 100,000 people could listen my voice. Maybe most of them agreed with my talks and some of them didn't agree. I support both sides because I believe good things will give me motivation and bad things give me lessons. So at both sides I benefit to improve myself. Well, today's podcast is about thinking, the basic explanation about thinking. What is thinking? Which most people, I believe, they cannot think in a good way. They just think that they are thinking. So today's podcast is going to be about thinking because, as you know, the mind is the most powerful place in this world. In my opinion, I believe mind is the most powerful place in the world because you can change things with your brain, with your mind, with your things and beliefs. That's why thinking is really important subject and topic that we should talk about and learn how to think and how to think and how to choose the good options and the best path to pass everything and to face reality. So, what is brain? Well, actually, I guess most of us know what is brain and everyone has one. So the question is, are you using your brain in the most difficult situations or in the good situations? Do you use this brain that you have in your head or no? Well, as you know, brain works with electrical signals and calculates everything at the same time. Well, we have two parts of the brain, conscious and unconscious. The conscious part is the part that we have control on, and the unconscious is the react that we do to different positions and different situations like flight and fly, where when we face fear, we fight and fly. For example, you face a lion in a desert, it's your choice to fight with it or fly and run away. So basically, most of us will run away. But the question is, if we don't fear and don't be scared about the realities, what would you do? For example, if you have a big dream in your head and you don't fear failure, what would you do? What was the situations and the options that you could choose? Well, I believe most of us will fear and fly. But if you be fearless in this world, universe will be unlimited for you. I agree with that. And I'm sure about it. If you don't fear of anything, this universe will be unlimited for you. It means you can do whatever you want. But the question is, most of things that we don't do is because we have fear of failure. For example, why you're not dating someone? Because you fear to have a heartbroken at the end of your date. Or why you're not opening and starting this specific business? Because you have fear of failure. Why? What if it didn't work? So you should ask yourself why it worked. What would I do if worked? It's hard to manifest and manipulate your brain like that, to think positively and without fear. Uh, that's why most of us, we're not getting the things that we want, and we'll die with a lot of dreams in our heads because we never had that courage to make that dream real. So my point is, if you can manipulate your brain to face only fear, to face your fears, and stop fearing things and stop having that fear which stops you from your dreams, from your things that you want to do, you can live better. You can live fearless and you can fly. That's the point. But thinking uh, means when you are in a different situations, for example, you have to choose from two options. On that point, you have to think which point is the best choice, which one is the best choice. So when you choose the best option, it has consequences. You have to give something to get something. You have to give up on something to get something else. If you want to give up on something bad, you'll get something. But you don't know that that thing is good for you or no. But the thing is, you'll get something that you asked for. You asked before and you don't know how you're going to get it. But in a different ways, in a way that you don't expect, you'll get the thing. That's why you have to be careful. What do you think of? How do you think? For me, nowadays, whatever I think, whatever I keep in my brain, I'm so fear. I I fear sometimes because it might affect me. It might affect my mood. It might affect my life. It might affect my future. That's why I should be careful what I'm thinking about. Am I thinking about a good thing? Am I thinking about a positive thing? Am I thinking about a bad thing? That's why if you want to think wisely, think carefully, because your future is made up by your thoughts. Whatever you think will affect your life. So, why should you keep a bad thing around you and in your mind? For example, you want to open a business. You'll keep asking yourself, okay, what if it didn't work? Okay, that's okay. You have to ask yourself, you have to have a plan B, a backup plan, but you shouldn't be fear. You should not fear that you will fail. You should uh, create the success with small details. For example, I want a car. So, what color should be the car? What accessories should the car have? What color should seats be? For me, is like that. What price it should be? When should I get the car? How should I get the car? Where should I get the car? These are the details question that you should ask when you want to get something. For example, a car. Or you want to go somewhere. You have to make it detailed. You have to put a lot of details for it. So you have to imagine it with details, with that you're feeling it now. When you feel something now, when you feel that you are successful, when you feel that you are going to do something, you will do it. Because that thoughts and feelings and imaginations are not here without any reason. They have a reason because of a reason that we imagine, that we think about, that we feel. For example, love. You cannot see a love, you cannot watch a love. You have to feel the love. You have to feel that you are in love with someone or in love with something. That's why thinking is the most powerful thing that everyone has. So it is really important what are you thinking about, because it affects your mood. Uh, I don't know is this a fact or no, but as the research that I did, because I was curious about it, because I was curious about it, I searched uh, about health issues and problems with body. So I found out this is a mind scenario which creates to you for your body, for your illness, that shows it might be not real, but I don't know, I'm not sure about it. This is what I research and search about. It tells that when you're doing something wrong, when you have a problem in your life, one of your body parts starts to have pain, or having illness. This is your mind illusion, which creates that illness. But in reality, your mind is that powerful, which can create an illness and it can remove that illness. So your body is a complicated machine. So it can get affected by different things, by viruses, by bad thoughts, bad feelings, negative thoughts, negative talks, negative people, toxic people. These all can affect your mood, your mind, your brain, your body, everything, your life. That's why you should be careful. Who are you around with? Who are you hanging out with? What things that you're thinking? Your body is your temple. You should feed it. You should not feed it garbage. That's why you should have a good diet. You should have a good diet for your body. A strong brain needs a strong body. Strong body will have a strong person. Well, strong person have a strong mind. Strong mind needs a strong body. That's why you should be careful about yourself first. Then you can start finding out questions. For me, I believe that you should leave this life. How can I say? The need of living is necessary. No, I mean, you should leave the fake life. For example, fancy cars. It's okay to think about, but you should not live for that. You should live for yourself. You should first focusing on yourself and increasing your humanity, increasing your personality, which can create a strong person for you. Like, for example, I'm Shahin Najdi. What should I do to become a better Shahin Najdi? What should I do to become a better version of myself? I have to find out what necessaries that I need to have, what problems that I have to fix, what books should I read, which can lead me to my goal and make me closer to my goal. After that, whatever I want will come to me, because I believe you get whatever you deserve, not whatever you want. If you deserve to have a Bugatti, you'll never have a Lamborghini, because your desire, your value is like a Bugatti. That's why I think this is the point, that you'll get the things that you deserve, not the things that you want. That's why you should increase your value. You should build yourself. You should put your frequency same as your goals and your dreams. For example, you want a Bugatti, so you have to act and be like a person who deserves to have a Bugatti. Not like a person who still sleeps till 12, hangs out, goes to parties, and etc. You know that. You have to work hard, you have to work smart, not hard. You have to work smart, and you have to know where should you work for and where should you work on. if working hard was um, if working hard was valuable, the workers they would be now millionaires. But as you can see, millionaires they never worked hard. They worked smart, and with that smart working, they got whatever they wanted. So, as I said, you have to increase your value and you get whatever you deserve, not whatever you want. That's why if you want to have a Bugatti, you have to think and increase your thoughts and your the way that you live, your value to that car. Because I believe we give meaning towards and value towards and to things. For example, this microphone, it doesn't have a value, but the person who sits behind this microphone and talks, this microphone gets valuable. Why? Because it shares and it takes the thoughts and feelings and the talks, the computer, and it records the sound with a good quality, so the value will show up. That's why I think we give value to things, to words, to people. That's why, as I said in my previous podcast, you should be around people who knows your value. When you be around people who knows your value, you'll start thinking that, oh, I'm valuable. That thinking is really matters. There are two different people in this situation. One of them, they will get a fake, uh, a fake. They'll be like jealous, or they'll be like, okay, I am the one, I am the best, I am the blah blah blah. But one people will think about it. Okay, the way that I choose, it's the right way. That's why my value showed up. That's why the value that we give to things and people is important. What are you giving value to? For example, you can give a value to a garbage or you can give a value to a gold. It's your choice. That's why you should be careful about your thinking, about your thoughts, about your personality, about your feelings, and use it in a sufficient way so you can live better. As I said, fear is everything, I believe, because this fear lets you to think, or it doesn't let you to think, because fear will make you blind. Because you're fearing something, you will not see the reality. You only see the bad and negative things. That's why you'll be under control of someone. If someone make you fear of something, for example, when I was a kid, when I was a child, once I tried to burn my house for experience. My mom, she came to me and she told me, if you do this again, I'm not gonna let you to go out of the house. I will ground you. That fear led me to never do that again. That fear will control you from everything. For example, your teacher. You didn't do your homework. Your teacher will say, next time I won't let you in class. Well, this fear of never letting you in class will make you never forget writing your homeworks. As you can see and as you can think, if you think more wisely and more widely, you'll find out this was fear which stopped us from everything and controlled us, actually. Because, as I said, if you want to warn someone, you will make them feel fear. For example, they talked behind you. You will go to them and you'll like, if you do this again, I will do that, blah 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 blah, because they fear of losing you or that thing's done with them. That's why they won't talk about you anymore or anything else. But the most important thing that we should fear of is the fear of death. This fear of death will make us to live. If you don't fear death, you'll be like, okay, I have 10,000 days more. I have 10,000 years more. So you won't chase your dreams quickly. Because I believe quickly and smartly is okay. But if you don't have that fear that I might don't have tomorrow, how can I know? So you'll try to get things quickly. You have dreams, you have your love, you have your life, you have your goals. But if you don't fear of death, you'll be like, okay, I will fall in love in 20 years later. I will get my dream car 100 years later. I will visit my family 2000 years later. Because you don't have that fear of losing, fear of leaving. Because we don't want to be left by anyone, anywhere. Because it is really sad. For example, you have things for someone, but you get left. They'll leave you one day. And this is the fact of reality and life, which makes it more delicious. Because, life has ups and downs. Sometimes you're at the top and sometimes you're at the bottom, and you cannot do anything about it, but you can do about yourself. You have to be strong enough so in any situation that you placed, you know what is your next move. You know what should you do now. So sometimes it's good to fear, for example, fear of death. But if you be fearless, the universe will be limitless. This is the fact that I learned. Maybe it's agreeable for some people and it might be not agreeable for someone else. That's why it's a thing that I believe. I'm not forcing people to listen to my podcasts. I'm not forcing people to do whatever I say. It's only my opinions and the research that I did, the books that I read. So whatever I say in this podcast, it doesn't mean it's reality or it's a fact. A fact is that I'm trying to help people, trying to help myself, because I believe when I talk, I'll be free a bit, I'll be empty a bit from inside, because talking is good sometimes with a bit thinking, because I believe most people when you have a conversation with them, they just want to say their opinions. They just want to show themselves that they are the right side of the conversation, that the all positive things is with them. They're not good listeners. That's why you cannot talk with them whenever you want. You feel unsafe when you talk with them. Being a good listener is good because you're giving value to that person and their thoughts. For a relationship, you both sides should be a good listeners. Most relationships, they have one side good listener, one side a good talker, which they only talk. They just want to say their opinions. They just want to show themselves. And they don't care what their partner thinks and feels. That's why most of them will end up after 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 1 year, 2 year. So being a good listener and thinking before talking is important because, as I said, with listening, you'll find the problems. And with solving that problems, your problem will get solved. So listening to each other will build a strong bond between you and your partner. So you both sides should be a good listeners and caring about each other, not only emotionally but physically, and with talks I mean spiritually. You have to care about each other. When someone is talking with you, talking about an issue, it means there is a problem. Well, when they talk to you, it means that you are the problem. So you have to listen and solve the problem. I believe if you want to start a relationship with someone, you have to try to develop together. When you are two person in the same problem, you have two minds on the same problem, so you can fix it faster than thinking with one mind on a problem. That's why you should try to fix each other, but not fixing, trying to growing with each other, actually, not fixing. You have to grow with each other. If you think that you're not growing and you're staying in the same place that you were before the relationship, believe me, that relationship is not real. Or you can call it something else, but that is not a relationship which develop you guys and grow you up. So to sum up, as I said, about thinking and about fear, fear is everything which stops us from everything, from our dreams, from our goals, because we have the fear of failure. It's good sometimes to fear, but we should not live in fear. We should leave the fear and face the reality. And thinking is the most important thing in everywhere. You have to think before doing a thing. You have to think before talking. You have to think before working. You have to think before starting a business, starting a relationship, starting a friendship. You have to think. And whatever you want, you have to think before it. That's why the brain works, and the need of brain will be visible. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. We talked a good amount of things. I believe that it was necessary for myself, actually, because whenever I do a podcast, I learn something new. I do research before my podcast. I read some books, some tips for the podcast, but I don't know what happens when I talk. I believe I calculate and manipulate some things. That's why I hope you enjoyed, guys. Wish you success, money, develop, growing, everything in your life. And never fear anything. Be fearless and try your best to become the best version of yourselves. Have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and introducing me to your friends, sharing my videos to your friends. It might be helpful for them. Sometimes I might answer some questions. If you have any questions, you can ask me from direct or Instagram or YouTube. Have a good day. Redline Motivation, Perfectiano. BT.